Hi, my name is Nomalangam Sally Moses with Healthy Black Woman and the blackhomeschool.com. And this is my good friend Shaquita Graham with lovingtheblackman.com and atechco.com. How are you, Shaquita?
I'm doing great, Noma. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So you brought up an interesting story about Hillary Clinton and some comments that she made, which is very, very relevant to the conversation that is on everybody's mouth right now, being that it's election season. So can you tell me a little bit more about the story?
Well, Hillary Clinton was recently confronted at a event that she had by an activist who basically brought up the fact that she had called Black people essentially super predators at one time around 1995, 1997. This was a time when that word super predators was being really built up as an idea of young juvenile kids who didn't have a conscience and were impulsive about committing crimes. And this is something that they built the crime bill based on. So that was something that a lot of people who claim they want to vote for Hillary Clinton didn't seem to know about her, especially in the Black community.
Yeah. Well, so first of all, the activist who called her out was a young Black woman, was it not?
Yes, it was.
Right. And then, am I wrong in saying that this is around the time where then we started to see more young kids, usually Black kids, being tried as adults?
Yes, all of these things were a result of this crime bill, and basically a lot of people spent time in creating this propaganda. It wasn't just Hillary Clinton. There was a professor named John DeLulio who defined the super predator as young juvenile criminals who are so impulsive and so remorseless that they can kill, rape, maim without giving a second thought. And the total prison population rose by 673,000 people under Clinton's tenure, reportedly. This is based on a study by the Justice Policy Institute.
Right. So what exactly did she say? I can't remember the exact quote, but I remember she said something to the effect of, let's not worry about why these kids are this way. Let's just kind of lock them up, or let's handle them, or let's deal with them, and then we can worry about what happened after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically coming up with this myth, the whole myth that's been going on since slavery of the so-called super Negro. You have these Black people that are super violent and they're just super evil, and we must get them under control, causing this false sense of criminality and trying to cause fear in the white community so that they can have a license to do whatever they want to do to Black people. And we've seen the same propaganda over and over again, and it's continuing in every area, in media, entertainment, and all of these things. But my question to her is, if you really care about super predators, then you should be trying to bring to heel all of these police departments that are being investigated by the Department of Justice, like in Alabama, the Dothan Police Department, who basically were found to have covered up or planted weapons and drugs in nearly 1,000 cases. Or there was a med tech over her 9-year career. She tested 60,000 samples, and she basically pled guilty to lying or cheating or misrepresenting the results. And she could have affected more than 40,000 criminal cases. Now, that sounds like super predators.
Right.
But she doesn't have anything to say about those people.
I think that was here in Boston.
That was in Massachusetts,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I heard that story. I heard about that story. I think we actually even covered it at Your Black World when it first broke, but we didn't understand how far-reaching it was. I personally am not one to have a lot of commentary on politics, but I do think that if there's a person sitting around thinking, which a lot of people do think, they're terrified by Donald Trump becoming president, and then they lean towards, well, maybe Hillary would be better than Donald Trump. Anything but Donald Trump, right? So is your stance that people need to look at Hillary and think that she's just as scary as Donald Trump, or do you still think that she's still the better of two evils?
I think that she's just as scary. I mean, there are pictures circulating of people from our representatives of the KKK hugging and embracing Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
And then we just have Donald Trump saying that he doesn't know enough about the KKK to disavow them, when in an earlier statement with Matt Lauer, he spoke extensively about David Duke and how vile he was. So it's the same thing. What we need is something really different. We need a reset button. We need something different to happen in this country. And again, it's really ridiculous that when you see something happening in the Black community, they're quick to do studies and have professors come out and come up with all of these names. But again, you see all of these terroristic acts being committed by the KKK and the all kinds of people in the judicial system, all the way up to judges, district attorneys. But we cannot attack these real super predators. And I think that we have to kind of begin to redefine who we are as Black people, instead of just allowing people like Hillary Clinton to spew this propaganda about us and cause negative reactions in our community.
Right. One other thing, and this is again related to the elections, one other thing that I wanted to bring up was that up until recently, people believed that Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and the Trumps were actually friends. It started out as a slight whisper that there's a conspiracy. People were being called conspiracy theorists for suggesting that Donald Trump deliberately ran on the Republican ticket to kind of stir things up, to make a clearer path for Hillary to just win on the Democratic side. But it's looking now like, what may have started out as just, kind of doing something for one motive, it's turned out that he may actually end up winning. He just might end up winning. And one of the reasons why I bring this up is you said that based on what Hillary was saying, they stirred up a lot of fear and terror, and then they put a black face on it. And that's what Donald Trump is essentially riding on. There's a bunch of people who are scared, and they want to, quote unquote, take America back, or restore it to before these terrible things were happening in their minds. And now here we are about to, or seriously considering putting into office two people that kind of look the same. So what's your take on that?
Well, I think, again, this is the same thing that's been going on for 500 years, and we're mistaken to think that anything is going to change without us making changes ourselves. So, I mean, just little things like taking control of our image. Some things that I highlight on some of my channels is like this Tariq Nasheed. He just released a new app called Moorish Kingdom, which is the story in this app is about a prosperous kingdom and a just and kind Black king. I mean, you never get to see us portrayed as Black kings, especially in something like an app in the App Store. These are things to counteract this propaganda. There's also a new 3D film, animated film called Bilal that's about an Ethiopian boy who basically rescues him and his sister from some abductors. And then, of course, at Ateco.com, we highlight children like Zora Ball, who was the youngest person to make a mobile app, and Kelvin Doe. These are things that we need to do because they're going to keep doing what they always do. And that's the problem. I feel that people are not tapped into a solution because they keep believing that Hillary Clinton is going to change something or Bernie Sanders Sanders are going to change, is going to change something, or maybe Trump will change something. These people are going to keep upholding the same status quo.
I'm with you on that. I generally don't, I don't run my life waiting for somebody else to do something so that it gets better. So I'm right along with you in that I do think that we should take more of an initiative in writing our own stories and creating different things to make our lives better. So we're definitely in agreement on that. And just to end this segment, I just want to reiterate that those people who are, and I understand a lot of people came out in droves to vote for Hillary on Tuesday. I just hope that people know who they're voting for. This is a woman who actually said that she didn't care what caused troubling behavior in young black men and women. She just didn't care. All she cared about was get them off the streets, lock them up. That's essentially what her comments were. I think it was, bring it to heel or something like that. So all I can say in closing is when you vote, know who you're voting for.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Noma.
Yeah. So for our audience members who don't know us, which they should by now, my name is Nomalanga Mhlali Moses with Healthy Black Woman and theblackhomeschool.com. And this is my good friend Shaquita Graham with atechco.com and lovingtheblackman.com. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Shaquita, for joining me.
Thank you for watching. Thank you, Noma.